Yeah, that's such a beautiful moustache.
Thank you, thank you. It takes a lot of effort to look this horrible, but I do my best.
Oh, it's powerful. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Well, oh, this started off well. All right. All right, so thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Alice Englert, the writer, director, and star of Bad Behavior, which came to digital and VOD on June 14th, 2024. It is a dark comedy satire. It's a really hard movie to kind of gauge, but it has a fantastic cast, some really poignant, interesting scenes, and a really beautiful cinematography. Alice wears so many hats in this movie, so I'm excited to see how she was able to get this all done. So thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, it's my actual pleasure. And just a warning to all or just a relief to all. They're not literal hats in the movie. I, in fact, rarely wear a hat, just metaphorical hats. You won't have to see a lot of hat work from me in the film.
Although
But
you
if
do have some interesting wigs, so that's kind of like a hat. It's a type
you're
of hat.
right, you're right. There is quite a bit more headgear than now I think about it. Oh, so true, so true.
So you wrote this movie. It feels like it could be a very personal movie, just given some of the content. What inspired this, and who hurt you?
Oh my God, that's such a great question. I mean, I feel like probably myself the most. I think our capacity to be cruel to ourselves is pretty epic. And I think that's what I wanted to write about, to be honest. I went to a lot of spiritual retreats when I was growing up. I was been around the film industry for a very long time, and I was fascinated by how the enlightenment industry is trying to deconstruct or get beyond our narratives about who we are in our lives, which can be so, exciting and or soul destroying. But, film, the whole thing that I'm trying to do with all my heart is about yeah, making them up and manipulating them, coercing reality, and then somehow that's meant to feel like real and true. And yeah, I think that's also why I think my favorite nonsense philosophy from the movie is it's both, but I do believe that the paradox is real.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, no, for sure. And speaking of it's both, you also directed this movie. Were you always set to direct this as well? Did you write this with the idea that you would direct it, or is that just kind of how the film developed? Because that's kind of how indie movies work. You sometimes have to wear multiple hats,
Well,
figurative hats.
yeah. um, I no, I was always going to direct it. I've written and directed two short films before this. And so I was always writing it with the idea of directing. It was just like the acting in it. I was just trying to sneak that in as well. And I was scared that I would get like booted out of my own movie for not being famous enough. But I just kept being like, and I might play if it's okay. And nobody stopped me. So I got away with it. And I really, really wanted to, and I really felt because well, actually I've got quite bad knees, and one of my things that I am good at, when it comes to athleticism, is I'm quite good at falling over. And so I thought this was like my time to shine in a more athletic role because I thought I can roll on the ground, I can fall over, I can be dragged, I can do all of those things quite well. Running quickly is I'm not your go-to gal, but yeah, I also wanted to explore the way um Dylan was trying to find some kind of scapegoat in the physical realm for the old internal pain. Yeah, the old emotional pain. And I know what that feels like, and I know a lot of people do. I've also got mates that really grew up. They're very good at sports and very good at climbing up mountains and, falling off them a bit and all of that. And I was the one that was always kind of like a bit behind because of being a city kid, but also, bad knee, slightly hobbling person. And I was fascinated by their like fierceness and the way that they could kind of escape into their bones, and in, you know,
Yeah.
and I wanted to explore that as well, trying to get into your flesh and out of your head.
Yeah, no, for
Uh,
sure. And I did like how it seems like you modeled Dylan kind of after your strengths, which makes it easier when you're playing the character. So
yeah, exactly, exactly. I was cheeky. I love directing though. Like I don't necessarily feel an itch to have to act. I don't feel an itch to act in everything I write. I actually love just being a fan of the people I'm working with, and it's really fun to I love directing. Like I don't need so many hats all the time, but it was just this one. It felt right. And it weirdly worked out because it meant that Jennifer and I spent a lot of time together, which we wouldn't have spent because of the way indie films are these days. Like you just don't get the rehearsal time that you want. And it's like just, you dream of the John Cassavetes of it all. And then it's just like schedules, they're in, they're out. But we got to spend heaps of time together because
so
I was directing her. And so I
that's
got to
perfect.
know
That
her
is
face
perfect.
and her
So
behavior. Yeah, really well, and I loved it. Yeah.
so speaking of Jennifer Connelly, how did you get her involved? Had you worked with her before? Is she like an old family friend or just someone that you just reached out and she
No,
liked it?
no, it's this thing they do at the agents is that sometimes even when you're not meant to pass the script around, they like do anyway. And her agent had like read it and was like, why haven't you come to us? And we were like, well, because I don't know, like Jennifer Connelly, like, would Jennifer read it? And so they just were like, you should like send it to us and we'll see if she wants to read it. I was like, we were like, okay, okay, okay. And then I just wrote her a really long letter because I love her and I just was like hoping that she might read it and read the letter and like it. And she read it twice and got like Paul to look at it and everything and like watched all my short films and all that stuff. I was like, oh my God, this person actually does their homework. My goodness. She was just into it. Like I think we're both just curious, amused and like attracted to similar things. Yeah, she's very cerebral, very, very funny and enigmatic and like as is Ben actually. Oh, and she has yeah, she I love this thing she said about Lucy, which was that she often likes, feels like she'll know what a character would do because she knows them so well. But with Lucy, she said, the thing is, like, I just feel like she might do anything at any time. I was like, well, I agree. So like let's just do that version. And it's kind of amazing. Like there's so many ways we could have cut that character because there was so many her the character is got a very elastic personality. She has ways that she always kind of sorry, it just reminded me. I used to think about Dylan and Lucy having like a umbilical cord they hadn't cut that was like like comedy, like them just like trying to get away from each other and it just snaps them back together, like sort of Buster Keaton style. But yeah. Yeah, no, she's just amazing. She just gave it a full chance and was really keen on it. She's very nice to me.
That is so lovely. Because when I wrote her a very long, heartfelt letter, I got a restraining order. So, it's very nice.
Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she seems lovely.
Oh,
I hope to one
yeah,
day meet her.
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, eh?
Exactly, exactly. And maybe that pain will fuel me to other things, other accomplishments, right? Just like in the movie.
Yeah. Learning lesson, growth edges, learning lessons.
So you can see both Alice and Jennifer's relationship, their interesting, like figurative umbilical cord, and some of the situations that they get into in Bad Behavior. It came to digital on June 14th, 2024. This is the writer, director, and star Alice Englert. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it.